Hi, my name's Angela, and I'm a face of PCOS. My struggle with polycystic ovarian syndrome started when I was about 12 years old, when my period started. And from the very beginning, my periods were extremely irregular and very painful. They were about every 4 months, and it was very unusual. And what's also unusual is that I started gaining great amount of weight. My family is extremely active and very health conscious, and for me to be overweight was just a really big deal. I really didn't see doctors at that point in time. We just thought what was going on was normal for me and a little bit different from our family. But as I went into high school and college, I actually developed anorexia and bulimia to try to control my weight issues. And that just started, just a big problem for me. And when I was 20 years old, my period stopped completely. And at the same time, I started counseling for my eating disorders. And promptly, as I got counseling, I gained 60 pounds. And so when I did go see doctors about my periods, they were actually telling me a lot of the time that it was because I was gaining weight and that was the issue. So I didn't get diagnosed. When I was finally 30 years old, I was working in an advertising agency in Dallas, and my mother called me and she said, I just read this article in Women's Day magazine. It's about this condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. She faxed me the article that day, and I read through it, and the symptoms that the women were having in this article were the same that I had been dealing with, not only the obesity and the periods, but also the fact that I had acne and body hair growth in areas that I didn't want it. And so I promptly made an appointment with a reproductive endocrinologist and saw him about 2 weeks later. When I went into the office and told him the things that I was experiencing, he said without even having lab work done, he could tell that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I did have lab work done, and it showed that my testosterone level, my androgen level, was about 5 times the highest level that it should have been for a woman, which I thought was just crazy. And then he promptly said that I had about a 5 to 10% of chance of ever having children without aggressive fertility treatments, which devastated me because I wanted to be a mom. And the other treatments that I went through was basically symptom management. Low carb, high protein diet, and lots of exercise. And I really struggled even from that point on to have regular periods, and my weight still continued to just blow up. When about 2009, I decided that I was going to have fertility treatments. I decided to start with Clomid because we hadn't started anywhere yet, so that's where we started. And I was very fortunate because I had one dose of Clomid and got pregnant with my son, who I had in 2010. So I was extremely fortunate, and I know a lot of women that aren't that fortunate when they have polycystic ovarian syndrome. In 2011, I had gotten fed up with my weight gain. After pregnancy and everything, I had ballooned up to over 300 pounds, and I exhausted about every avenue that there was. And so at that point in time, I really looked into other options, and my doctors and I decided that I was a good candidate for gastric bypass. And so in December of 2011, in order to deal with the obesity, I did have gastric bypass. And fortunately, I've been able to lose 144 pounds and really gain control over my life in that area. PCOS for me has been a journey about symptom management, and it's been a really difficult journey, but also something that I've been able to just kind of take control of and take the reins on and try to do the best I could with an impossible situation. So I'm very happy to say that I've been able to deal with the situation with PCOS, and hopefully others can learn from my journey. Thanks.